What's up, everybody? Welcome to the video. I'm really excited. This is my first video on YouTube, and it comes at probably the best time I've ever had in my entire life, which is today, 1 year narc free from all the chaos, the cheating, the lying, the triangulation, the manipulation, the gaslighting, the financial abuse. It's been 1 year narc free, and I'm so excited. So over the last 1 year, I've been really sharing my story on TikTok, and over the last 4 months I started sharing it on Instagram. But I always knew that YouTube would be kind of the outlet that I would use to really get my story out there and to help as many people recover from narcissistic abuse, to understand their situation and to have the knowledge from a survivor, somebody who's gone through it, so that I can help you, provide the knowledge so that you can understand your situation and start working to get out of that relationship. So today what I want to do basically is I want to give you 5 realizations that I've had after the narcissistic abuse, so that hopefully it helps you understand kind of what this is about, how to go through the recovery process and start reclaiming your life. So starting with number 1, the trauma bond is real. The trauma bond is the most craziest experience I've ever had. It's really like, I knew this person was toxic and, insidious, and the things that they were doing were absolutely horrific, but I didn't really fully understand why I couldn't detach from them, why I sought for their validation so bad, you know what I'm saying? And I just didn't understand it. And through this last year, I've really understood the depths of the trauma bond and how it affects us with that chemical imbalance of the dopamine and the cortisol. Remember, the narcissistic abusive relationship cycle is all about that love bombing and idolization phase, and then through the devaluation and the discards and all of the toxic abuse that we go through, it starts to fill our body with a lot of anxiety, panic attacks, stress, and that's all this cortisol building up in the bodies. And then when the narcissist then does intermittent reinforcement, this basically boosts us up. It's like giving us a little bit of dopamine to bring us back up, and we actually become very addicted to this cycle. Crazy in order to get out of it, but you can, you will. You just have to understand that it's an addiction, and any addiction, just like alcohol, drugs, money, gambling, sex, whatever the case, you can beat an addiction by starving it, going no contact, and cutting them out of your life and reclaiming control over your central nervous system. Number 2, the second most important thing that I've come to understand in this recovery process is cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance is kind of the number 1 thing that I focused on in order to recover from this type of abuse. Cognitive dissonance was a psychological term that was coined in the 1950s, and essentially what it means is when an individual holds 2 conflicting deep moral beliefs, right? So 2 conflicting beliefs. Is the narcissist the soulmate, the lover, the best friend, the most compatible, this twin flame? Are they the love bomber, or are they, abused me, that lied to me, cheated on me, triangulated me, never took accountability, gaslit me into oblivion, and constantly was lying? You have these 2 conflicting beliefs, and the most important thing in the recovery process is getting to your truth. Not the narcissist truth, not what they projected on you, not what they conditioned you to believe, but what is your truth? You have to get to the truth. And the easiest way for me to do this was to make the ick list. The ick list is a list of all of the things that this person did to me over the 2.5 years. All the cheating, all the lying, all of the manipulation, the gaslighting, the triangulation, the financial abuse, the weaponizing of my trauma, my dreams, and all of these things. I had to get very clear. So every time I was down on that emotional roller coaster, I would go back to the list and I would just read through it in order to break the subconscious mind to accept the fact that this was nothing more than abuse. Number 3, no contact. No contact for a narcissist is a way to manipulate you, to emotionally abuse you, a way for them to regain an emotional and structural advantage over you. Remember, narcissists are all about power dynamics, and when they see that that power dynamic is shifting and you're becoming aware, this is when they're going to go no contact. They're going to ghost you, but this is really just a way to abuse you, to escape accountability. Now, for us, the victims of narcissistic narcissistic abuse. No contact is to heal, to starve the addiction to the narcissist validation, to their dopamine, right? So when we go no contact, we're doing it to save ourselves in order to heal from all the abuse that we went through. Number 4, it is not your fault. It does not take two to tango. A relationship is not two people when it comes to this type of abuse. Narcissists are calculated, intentional abusers who attach to people through a transaction, right? Love to a narcissist is a transaction. It's all about what can they get from you, right? And then once you start going through the devaluation phase, this is where the narcissist is going to condition you to believe it's your fault. This is how they use DARVO, deny, attack, reverse, victim, offender. Basically, when you go to hold a narcissist accountable, they're going to deny that they did anything wrong, and then they're going to attack you on some things that don't even matter, and then that's going to reverse the victim offender, making them the victim and making you the abuser. But don't fall for this. This is a manipulation tactic. All of the times they told you it was your fault and made you feel crazy is all lie, deceit, gaslighting, manipulation. They're taking all of that energy and that toxicity and they're projecting it onto you so they can get rid of it. Narcissists don't have a healthy way of dealing with these things. So what they do is they project, they discard their negative toxic energy by saying you're the one that did it. But remember, when a narcissist accuses you of doing something, this is a very clear indication that they're actually indeed doing this. So don't believe the narcissist. It's not your fault. When it comes to abuse, it does not take two to tango. It takes one abuser to set up all of the abuse. Number 5, it does get better. It takes a lot of time and you have to go through the healing journey, which the healing is really only a byproduct of going through the grieving process. And the grieving process has stages. You have denial, bargaining, anger, depression, and acceptance. And as you go through this cycle, you're going to start to heal. And by the time you get some distance between you, you're going to start to see the light at the end of the tunnel. Things are going to start to make sense. You're going to start to connect the dots. But what you really have to do is be patient, be compassionate with yourself, be patient with yourself, and understand that it's a process. But this is a time for you to learn more about you. What is it you want? What is it that you want to change about you? How can you become more self-aware? Adopt a growth mindset and start to pave a new path for you so that you don't repeat the cycle. Guys, these are the 5 things that I've learned from 1 year after narcissistic abuse that I hope helps you on your journey to recovery. Thank you for coming. We'll be back next week with another video.